Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving into something that, let's be honest, affects every single one of us, our financial journey. We're going to break down how you can really take control, from the day-to-day spending all the way to planning for those huge life moments. So, let's get right into it.
We've all been there, haven't we? You set a goal to save more, and then, bam, an unexpected car repair pops up, or a last-minute trip you just can't say no to. This quote from Citizens Bank just captures that feeling perfectly. It's this universal challenge, but the good news is it's definitely not an unsolvable one.
So, where do we even begin? Well, we start by just acknowledging the problem. Financial anxiety. It is a real and incredibly common stressor, but it's one we can absolutely get a handle on. Okay, this data from a CFP board study is, wow, it's striking. Among Americans without any financial advice, you've got 18% reporting they feel anxious about money. But just look what happens for those working with a certified financial planner, a CFP professional. That number just plummets to 8%. It's just powerful proof that having a real structured plan can cut your financial stress by more than half.
This old saying really hits the nail on the head. Feeling overwhelmed by your finances? It often just comes from not having a clear picture. The second we start measuring, just simply tracking what's coming in and what's going out, we gain the power to manage it. And that is the core idea we're about to explore with budgeting.
All right, so let's get into the practical stuff, the tools. There's really no single best budget out there. It's all about finding the right tool for your personality and your goals. We're going to walk through 4 really popular options to see what might just click for you.
First up, we have the 50-30-20 method. Look, if the idea of tracking every single penny feels totally overwhelming, this one might be for you. It's so popular because it's just incredibly straightforward. You just split your after-tax income into 3 buckets, which gives you a nice, clear, high-level view without getting lost in the details.
So who's this really for? It's pretty much perfect if you want that sense of control without getting bogged down in tiny details. Your needs are the absolute must-haves: rent, food, car payments. Wants are all the fun extras, like your Netflix subscription or going out with friends. And then that crucial 20%, that goes straight toward building your future financial security.
Next up is the pay yourself first method. Now, the philosophy here is so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. You treat your savings like it's your most important bill. If you struggle with the temptation to spend what's in your checking account, this method kind of takes willpower out of the equation. Before you pay for anything else, you pay your future self.
This is the ultimate set-it-and-forget-it strategy. You just decide on a percentage, let's say 10%, and you automate the transfer for every single payday. The money moves over to your savings before you even get a chance to think about spending it. It is such an effective way to build savings almost effortlessly.
Now, for those of you who feel like you've got no control over your money and you really crave total command, we have the zero-based budget. This is a much more meticulous approach where you account for every single dollar you earn. The goal isn't to have $0 left over, but to assign every single dollar a job, whether that job is paying bills, spending, or saving.
Here is a perfect example from the source material. You start with a $5,000 monthly income, and you can see how every dollar is planned for, from the big stuff like rent all the way down to entertainment and savings. That amount left is 0, not because all the money's gone, but because every single dollar has been given a specific job to do.
So the really crucial point here is that there's a spectrum, right? On one end, you've got the low-effort, pay-yourself-first method, which is perfect for just building those habits. And on the complete opposite end, you have the high-detail, zero-based budget for when you need that maximum control. And really, neither one is better than the other. It's all about what fits your personality and your lifestyle.
Okay, our final method is a real hands-on classic, the envelope system. It's a cash-based approach. You literally take physical cash and put it into labeled envelopes for things like groceries or entertainment. Once an envelope is empty, that's it. You're done spending in that category for the month. It's actually a pretty powerful psychological trick to help curb overspending.
So, budgeting handles the day-to-day, but what about the big picture? Your financial plan, it has to evolve as your life evolves. So let's look at how some of these major life changes really call for a financial checkup.
Getting married is a huge financial milestone. It's time for those really crucial, open conversations about money, about your goals, your debts, and how you're going to decide to combine your finances. This means creating a brand new, shared budget and tackling practical steps like updating the beneficiaries on your retirement and insurance accounts.
And then, welcoming a child, another total game changer. And just look at this number, over $21,000 for the first year alone. That's according to a study by NerdWallet.
I mean, that really highlights why planning ahead is just so critical.
So what does that mean in practical terms? Well, key steps include adding your child to your health insurance, maybe opening an education savings account like a 529 plan, and, this is a big one, updating your will to name a legal guardian. It's all about building that financial safety net for your growing family.
A new job or even a full career change, that also requires a financial checkup. You're going to need to adjust your budget for a new income. Decide what to do with your old 401k, like rolling it over into an IRA, and really dig into your new benefits package to make sure you're maximizing everything, like a retirement match or health savings accounts.
So we've talked about the tools, we've talked about the triggers for planning, but what's the actual payoff? Why does all of this really matter? Well, the data tells a pretty compelling story.
Check this out. 78% of people working with a CFP professional have a proper 3-month emergency fund. Compare that to only 53% of those who are unadvised. Now, this isn't just about numbers on a page. It's about resilience. It's about being able to handle one of life's curveballs without going into debt.
And right here, we can see the direct impact on well-being. Over half of those with a professional plan say they are living comfortably. That's compared to just 28% of those without one. This shows that financial planning isn't just about preparing for some distant future. It's about creating a better, more secure present right now.
And if you do choose to work with someone, that level of trust really matters. A huge 69% of people working with a CFPR professional trust their advisor a lot, which is so much higher than for advisors without that certification. That trust, that's the foundation of a successful financial partnership. But ultimately, there is no single right path. Your financial journey is yours and yours alone. And the goal isn't about being perfect. It's just about making progress. So the real question is this: what's one small step you can take today to move forward on your path? Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.